Hi, today we are going to discuss how myelinated neuron conducts nerve impulse faster than non-myelinated neuron. Short answer is saltatory conduction. But to understand the entire mechanism of saltatory conduction, we first need to understand the structure of a neuron. Neurons are broadly classified into two parts. First is myelinated neuron and the another is non-myelinated neuron. And to understand the difference between these two, let's first understand the basic structure. Let's draw the structure of a myelinated neuron first. These are dendrites. It's a cell body and here's a nucleus. We call this axon. These are axon endings. But here's a catch. In myelinated neuron, Schwann cells are present. And Schwann cells secrete myelin sheath around it. So this is what we call myelin sheath. And the space between the two myelin sheath is called nodes of Ranvier. So it's a structure, a rough diagram of a myelinated neuron. Nucleus, cell body, axon is myelin sheath, Schwann cells, they are Schwann cells. And the space between the myelin sheath is called node of Ranvier. Now, non-myelinated neuron, it's a pretty simple structure. Just have to draw a neuron, nucleus, dendrites, this axon and axon endings. Now can you draw the basic difference? Can you draw the basic comparison between these two? Of course you can. In myelinated neuron, Schwann cell is present which produce myelin sheath, and in non-myelinated neuron there is no Schwann cell, so no myelin sheath. And now why I'm emphasizing so much on myelin sheath? Myelin sheath acts as an electrical insulator. So when there is a electrical conduction in a neuron, myelin sheath does not allow the movement of ions to pass through it. When the depolarization happens, ion pass through the node of Ranvier, but myelin sheath does not allow to pass them through it. So depolarization happens at the node of Ranvier, but not at the place of myelin sheath. This is myelinated neuron, and in myelinated neuron there are Schwann cells present. These Schwann cells secretes myelin sheath. Myelin sheath acts as an electrical insulator which prevents the flow of ions through this region. So ions does not move through myelin sheath. But this gap between myelin sheath is called node of Ranvier. This is the only space where ions can flow in and out. So the conduction of impulse happens only at the nodes of Ranvier. Impulse jumps from one node to another and then to another, skipping the myelin sheath part. And this conduction, jumping conduction of impulse is what we call saltatory conduction. Jumping conduction or saltatory conduction is the reason we save a lot of time, as it does not, impulse does not have to depolarizes the entire axon membrane. It saves a lot of time and energy. And the velocity of a nerve impulse in myelinated neuron is 120 meter per second. Meanwhile, in non-myelinated neuron, as there is no myelin sheath, the electrical conduction happens in continuous motion or in continuous way. So it happens at every step, at every position of axon membrane. Electrical conduction happens continuously, polarization, depolarization, repolarization, and it takes a lot of time, and energy. And the velocity of nerve conduction or impulse conduction is in non-myelinated neuron get reduced to just 2 meter per second. See the basic major difference between the velocity from 120 meter per second to just 2 meter per second. Yeah, that's the magic of myelin sheath. So I really hope that I have made it very clear to you. I hope you understood the basic conduction mechanism. Thank you.